everyone, I've got something special for you today, or at least it's special to me anyway. So we're by this church, it's in Wirksworth, St Mary's, and we're going to see the oldest depiction of a miner, well, in the world, in Europe, so they say. So the church itself is a very old church anyway, and good church door as always, and it's open so we can come in. Good church smell. So let's go and find the miner. It's called Toad Man or the Old Man. There's other beautiful carvings as well. Very much of that style. If you watch the video about Kilpeck Church, you'll recognise that same very old style, sort of Anglo-Saxon / Norman of that era. There's a curious chap there, what's believed to be Adam, as in Adam and Eve. You can see the serpent there. When I look at things like that, I could sort of see how this could be Eve equally as it could be Adam, because the you know, they wouldn't really depict women that way, but the jury's out. And there he is. Oh my God. So Toad Man used to be in Bonsall Church, so Bonsall the village, nearby, but it was moved here just to protect it better, and they actually did, the village of Bonsall did get a replacement, so they got a replica carved out. But I mean, look at that. So this carving, engraving, would have been sort of, well, we don't really know, but it could be up to 1,000 years old. Some people, oh here it will say about 1,000 years old. Some people might say, you know, maybe 800-900 years old, but this is believed to be the oldest depiction of a miner, potentially the oldest depiction of a miner, well, in the world. But obviously we can't, you know, when we talk of the world, we sort of think of Europe and extended world, because we don't know. We don't know if there's a carving somewhere in Africa, but, you know, on wood by a gold mine. But anyway, so this is very much a lead miner, so really typical of the area. He's got his little kibble there, if you can see in the pic. So very much like the kibbles we see in the mines, would have been sort of, you know, metal and wood, and we see his pick. Again, the features and all that. He's got some kind of a cap, and he's just wearing that simple tunic. We see that sort of thing again in the mines. You can see his shoes are probably leather, simple leather shoes. And there he goes, and we see similar sort of depictions in mines, where I think a good example would be the overseer chamber shaft in Masson mines, where again they drew their supervisor in that case in that sort of tunic. So I guess that's what they would have worn. So probably not even proper trousers, just some kind of shoes and then this tunic. But what a fantastic artifact. Quite primitive, but really beautiful in that way. So lead was obviously really important, and churches like this, Wirksworth or, you know, Bonsall, so in this area, they would actually get a tithe, so 10% of all the earnings, let's say, from a mine. And they could then build, well, they could build churches like this, you know, so they would use lead for, you know, for roofing, for all sorts of things, and they could pay rich families. So, for example, the famous miner family of Gels, and if you watch one of the videos where I show this beautiful old Added on Via Gelia, it's the same family, so, you know, they were obviously, they made quite a bit of money. And they were able to afford spectacular tombstones with the lead money. Wow, and talking of Gel's tombs, they are here. They're right here. So this is the kind of tomb that you can afford if you've got some mining money, some lead. I mean, spectacular, that sort of stuff. This would have been, is this marble? Yes, wow. So obviously, yeah, very, very rich family. You can see there, so I don't know if you can read, it's quite hard. So here in this tomb, buried, it's all Old English, so it's quite, well, Middle English really, quite difficult to read. But you can see body of Anthony Gell, or Gell. Yeah, and then at the very bottom there, if you see, there's a date which reads 1585. Yeah, I can't read this quickly because it's really hard to read that sort of old writing, but it's quite special in itself. And there's the man himself. And just below here, sort of on the side, the same, well, similar is written, but in Latin, as it was the custom back in the day. So again, it says Antoni Gelli, Armigeri Antonius Gellus, Sapiens. Oh, yeah, my Latin is very good. I can sort of make out a few things, but also the font, again. Okay, well, maybe Mineroa, so that's mining, I guess. Yeah, it's quite hard because of the font, and obviously, you know, Latin is, with Italian, I can just about understand it, but it's not the same. But yeah, look at the tomb. Like, look how exquisite that is, how intricate. Yeah. So just also, there's another tomb just next to it. This is a bit less intricate with just carvings, just engravings, but also same sort of marble. Is that marble? My God. And then here as well, so that's a slightly later date, 1704. And then also, so this is the daughter of Sir John Gell, 1730. These would have been the people. Of course, the carving of the miner, that's even earlier. You know, by the time Gell was operating, it would have been probably a bit more advanced than that. But still early days, still very primitive, and you know, working conditions would have been absolutely terrible. The other interesting thing is when sometimes you hear me talk of, in my Welsh videos, you hear me talk of Bonsall and Bonsall's mines. Now, you come here to Derbyshire, and of course, you've got the entire village called Bonsall, and obviously, this is where the mine was placed originally. Toad Man was actually in Church of Bonsall. So, you know, you sort of think, well, so hang on, so what came first? You know, was it Bonsall, the church, the town, and then that's where all the mining came from? Or did that Bonsall guy, did he somehow travel? So what happened? You know, who came first? And actually, yes, so Bonsall, the town, the village, that's where a family of miners came from, and then they travelled to Wales, and then all these mines, they then built them. So really, it's not vice versa, because to me, you know, I always think of Wales first, and I always think, oh yeah, so it must be, you know, somehow Bonsall came here as well. Well, no, Bonsall is the town, then came the miner, and then travelled to Wales and drove some mines. And this is the oldest artifact. So it's a coffin lid, and is believed to be as old as 700 AD, portraying biblical scenes. And the font looks like it's lined with lead. Yeah, Romans used to go quite crazy drinking from lead pipes. But I guess if it's just font, if it's just a bit of holy water, you wouldn't drink it, would you? And probably lead from the same mines that we go and explore. Now, just outside, these tombstones, what I think are tombstones, look quite eerie. They're just perched sort of against the wall. I don't know why, but they just look, I guess, you know, I would imagine they would just carve out like the whole box, but no, they've got a distinct shape for the head. Almost resembles those coffin levels we see in mines, only that this is an actual coffin. Something really eerie about it, and the fact that there's a hole at the bottom. So, yeah. Oh, I don't know. I do find them quite eerie. There's another one there, a lot bigger. For a larger person, maybe. Yeah, no hole in this one. Well, I hope you've enjoyed visiting Toad Man and the mining history and the gel family. So from us all, bye for now, and I hope to catch you soon, and stay well, and goodbye.